Hello, hello, hello if you've joined me. I'm having an experiment. I'm just inviting people. Please do invite people to these lives. I really don't mind. I think I've got lipstick on my teeth. I really don't mind if you want to invite and share. That's really fine by me, honestly. I like people to hear my message if they are about, that's for sure. I'm just going to invite a few people more. God, it's cold, isn't it? It's really turned this weather. It was so beautiful last week. And I'm going to be working from the computer and the phone just for ease, really. And let's see how we go. I think that'll have to do because there's wow. There's quite a lot I want to say. And I could be all day at this rate. So hello. hello if you're there. As I said, I'm working from the computer and the phone. So if I'm looking up and down, don't worry about it. I'm with you. I want to share this into my group because I have a group that I don't want to start a watch party. Why do I want to do that? This is a funny old thing, this, isn't it? People will come on when they're ready. They are here. There's people I've invited. Michael. I'll just do share. Oh, share to a page. There we go. Might be able to do it this way. See if we can just get some others on to have a listen to what I'm about to say, because it's quite pertinent actually. This is all about structure and why success isn't personal. And it's quite a deep subject as well, so it's not something I can rush through really. Sorry, I'm just trying to share to my group. And I don't want to do watch together. I'm just trying to share to my group. Bear with me, sorry, I do apologise for this. There we go, it's in there. Let's paste the link in there. And that's it, I'll post that. Okay, and then you've got my undivided attention. I really do need a VA to do this kind of stuff for me, I'm telling you. That would be so lovely, just to have that. So hello if you've joined me. So lovely to see you guys here. And today I want to talk about structure. And I've spoken a little bit about this before, but I want to talk about it again because it's actually a really important subject, especially when you're on the computer, especially when you are looking at changing and doing any type of change work on yourself in your life. And because quite a few people seem to think that success is personal, and it's not. It doesn't matter actually who you are. It's all about the structure that you are in. And we have really been misguided and misled in society, and you know, some people are sharing this with us because they think that you know, that it's going to give us what we need. But what's happened is we've been conditioned into a structure in society by your parents, your grandparents, their parents even, you know, so it goes back generations and generations. And this structure that we've been put into is that we must strive towards a future, because the future is always better than the now. And our whole life is developed within this structure. But what it does is it puts you in a mindset of thinking that you need to fix something, or that something isn't right, there's a problem. And that problem or that fixing is what's required to get you to where you want to be, and to get you to where, you know, the things that you want to have in your life. But in true essence, what's actually happening is you develop this identity of not being good enough, or the space that you're in right now isn't good enough. And in order to be good enough, you have to move away from that. So you start to strive on this future. So you go through this scenario where you tell yourself that in order for you to be happy, you need to put something else in place. And what this also does is makes you start to sacrifice your time, because you do stuff you don't like, thinking it's going to be worth it in the future. Because we're conditioned. We've been conditioned to think this way. We've been conditioned to be in this particular structure. And that's the, if you do the X, you'll achieve the Y, and then you're going to feel better. And we're never taught, are we? We're never taught to be satisfied with what we have. We're never taught to be satisfied with what we have right now in the moment, because we're conditioned to always want more. We are conditioned to always be striving for something else out there. So what happens is we're always coming from a place of lack, because we think if once we get to our future space, that place we want to be, we will be happy. And then when we don't get it, we start taking it all personal. As if there's something wrong with us. And then you go through this cycle of this fixing yourself or fixing the problem. But in actual fact, the truth is, there isn't anything wrong with you. It's the structure that we're in. So it doesn't matter what you do, if the structure isn't right, you'll never succeed anyway. Think about it, right? Think about this. If you are sitting in a rocking chair, for instance, there's a structure to that rocking chair. And that structure is just backwards and forth, and that's all it can do. And that's the structure. It cannot move away from that. It cannot move away to do anything different to what it does, what it's been designed to do, backwards and forth. And you can sit in it and you can attempt to change that direction all you like, but all you're going to be met with is resistance, because it only works in the way it's been set up to work. So in order to do something different, you have to change your structure. And it's the same with the structure of the now. Right now. It's the same with that. The right now isn't good enough, and it will be better when you get to that future bit. But what we miss here is time is linear. So when you're in that structure of now isn't good enough and it will be better when, it will never be better. Nothing can be better than where you are now. I'm being serious. Because what happens is you get caught up in this fixing and problem cycle. And the truth is, you cannot just fix yourself and then pop into a future like that. It doesn't work like that. So there's nothing wrong with you. It's the structure. How many people do you know have worked in a job they hate because they wanted to get the pension so they can live that life that they wanted to have, just to get to that point and still not be happy? And how awful is it when you're so engrossed in that action of getting away from the now because you need to find your happiness in the future, and that is just your focus in that structure that I'm talking about. And then when you get to that future, you've missed out on so many things, like your children growing from a child to an adult in a blink of an eye. All because you were striving in a structure that only supports that the future is better than the now. And when we're in that structure, we sometimes get so close to that future. We get so close, it's just like there. It's right there. But what happens is we oscillate right back to where we were before because of the conditioning. It's like we're not really allowed to have it because of that forever, always searching for that future on that linear timeline. You're always in that future, always looking at that future. If I get this, I'll be happy. If I do that, I'll be happy. You're never looking at the right now. I mean, how many cars do you really need? How many houses do you really need? Really? Are these things going to make you happy? So what do you do? What do you do? Well, you have to get yourself into a different structure. And this can be quite tricky because we are conditioned. We are conditioned in a different structure that we've been in for years. But you have to accept that the now is equal to the future. And this is the way that you get to enjoy your journey. You have to align yourself to the now. And your future must be aligned to the now. So there's no resistance. Because the truth is, guys, the truth is the future isn't any better. We don't know. It's an unknown quantity. So why do we put all of our chips on this future thing, this future, this future goal? I'm not saying don't have goals. That's not what I'm saying, right? Because you still need to have goals and you still need to be action orientated. You still need to do that if you want to achieve. But what I'm saying is we put all our chips on this. Once we get to that future goal, then we will be happy. We put all our chips on that and we forget about the now. And when you can align yourself to get that feeling, it's about the feeling, right? It's not about the specifics of what the future holds. It's not about, you want the bigger house or the car on the drive or the next holiday or the what. It's not about that. It's not about the things. It's about how you feel when you have them. That's what it's about. And if you can capture that feeling and bring it into your now, you're already there. You're already there. You just work towards the specifics. But in the same alignment as if you already have it through the feeling of having it. And what happens is you show up as the same person, whether you're successful, whether you fail, it doesn't matter because you're aligned. You're aligned. And the outside world doesn't have a significant impact on you. Yes, I mean, look, don't get me wrong, right? Shit happens, stuff happens. And you're going to get a bit frustrated with situations. You're going to, get a little bit angry with situations. You're going to get a bit peeved with situations because life happens. And you have to feel those emotions. But the idea about all of this is you're missing out on so much if you do not bring what it is you're trying to achieve in that future, the feeling of it, into your now. We're missing a trick, guys. Because if you're a grumpy old git, and you live in a flat and you move to a house, you're still going to be a grumpy old git. You see, it's not the house that changes you. It's not that future thing that changes you. Because it's just material. It's material. Anyway, so getting back to the structure of the now is equal to the future. When you get to that place, you don't have any resistance. And that's when you are at your optimum, when you can create, manifest, being in the vortex, whatever it is that you've heard it to be, the law of attraction. That is the space. That is the space where you can have really everything that you desire from a feeling, emotion perspective. Because, if you want love in your life, if you want abundance in your life, you can have all of that right now. You can have it. Regardless of what your situation is, you can always find something to be grateful for and to feel abundant. You get where you focus where you place your focus is what you receive back. Yeah? Because even placing focus is a doing, it's an action. And where you place that focus is what comes back to you. So you can look for the problems and try to fix them. You can focus, you know, and you'll stay in that space of constantly trying to fix things and because they're broken. Or you can look around because, you know, when you're in that space of fixing and broken, it's a different energy. It's a completely different energy to when you're in a space of being thankful and grateful. And when you can start to put your focus in that energy of being thankful and grateful, you know, you will receive so much more back because your energy puts out a different type of frequency, a different vibration. And if you think that once you've achieved X, Y, Z, that's going to make you thankful and grateful, it won't. You have to be thankful and grateful now. Because if you can't be thankful and grateful for what you have now, what difference is it going to make once you get a different house? You still won't be thankful and grateful, will you? Because you haven't aligned an emotional state, an inner state, an inner being of how you want to be and how you want to, you know, vibrate in the world, what impact you want to put out there. So any acts that you want to receive, you have to give. Like if you think about love, for instance, okay? You know, love is a verb, and that's a doing word. It's a doing word, isn't it? And if you want to have a relationship in your future, and you tell yourself that you will love when you've found that someone special, you're doing it all wrong. Because why do you need to wait for a future someone to come into your life before you can feel love? You just have to do it now. So you start with loving you. All of you. Every single bit of you. And that's where you focus. You don't focus on in the future once I get, because you're coming from a place of lack. So you're going to be sitting there going, I'm miserable, there's no love in my life. I'm feeling that energy. I'm waiting for this man or woman to show up. When in actual fact, love is the highest frequency, energetic vibration. And if you have that love for you, you can radiate that in an instant. And because what you put out is what comes back, that's what you'll receive, because you're giving it. You're giving it. So you have to start with that. You have to start with the loving of yourself, because if you don't love you, no one else is going to fill that cup. No one's going to fill that cup. So how do you do this? Because it all sounds quite, you know, feasible when you think about it. But actually, there are a few steps that you have to take to get there, you know. And this is really pertinent, especially for the situation we're in right now. Because COVID has come in, hasn't it? And it's knocked people a bit sideways. And, you know, it's an opportunity, rather than focus our energy on the destruction that's causing, we can focus it on the love and the abundance and the thankfulness and the gratefulness that we have in our life right now. You know? Even down to getting up and taking a breath in the morning, knowing you're alive. And that's where it all comes from. So every day, your first step is every day you've got to step into that. Step into that. Understand what it is that you are waiting on this future to bring to you. From a feeling perspective. How you feel about it. And bring that in now. And step into it every day. Every day where you possibly can, you step into it. And then you live in that energy. You live in that energy without the specific things. Because they will come. They will come. And to ensure they come, you know, you have to then start thinking about where your finances, where you want your finances to be, where you want your fitness level to be, what you want around family and relationships, you know, the business you want, the job you want. How do you feel about those things? What is it specifically you want? But then bring the feeling into your now. Live it now, as if you have it and you're in that abundance. And by doing this, you can become the predominant creative force in your life, living from a place of purpose, real purpose. Not just doing and chugging along on a wheel, because if you chug and chug and chug, you'll get to that future and you still won't be happy. And life happens, you know, shit happens, life happens. And it may take you a little bit off key. You know, like, was it last week or week and a half ago? My puppy chewed my door frame. And I mean chewed it. The biggest hole ever was, you know, big chunk. And of course I was frustrated. And of course I was angry. You know, of course I was. But I chose to just recognise that the emotion of angry and frustration was there because I'm human, you know, but I chose to just focus back in on love and abundance. And it's about alignment, realigning yourself at every opportunity you can. Even when something happens that makes you feel, you know, frustrated or angry, like I've just said. It's about alignment at every opportunity that you can. But the real bit that you have to do, and the work that you have to put in for all of this, is it's about letting go and getting into that now. Because we've been conditioned in a structure, and moving to a new structure where the now is just as good as the future, or is equal to the future, is a difficult concept for some to kind of grasp in reality. You know, in a theoretical perspective, it's quite straightforward. And that's what the Mindset and Resilience program is partly about. It's about helping you get into that structure. So, with that in mind, I mean, if anyone would like a free coaching session with me on one aspect that you need to let go of, that could get you into the right structure for you, so that you can start aligning yourself, put a yes in the comments and I'll send you a link. It's all about the now, guys. Yes, we have to strive towards, you know, our life. Yes, we put goals in place. Yes, there's things that we want to achieve. Of course there are, you know. But don't get caught up in this thing about you can only be happy when. You can only feel love when. You can only feel abundant when. Because these whens may never happen. Yeah? So it's all about feeling it now. Really grasping your life now and the beauty of it. And the abundance that we already have. Like the running water that we can just go and get out of a tap. You know? We have that. That's abundant in itself. Or roof over your head. That's abundant in itself. It may not be a 3-bedroom, semi-detached in Spain. You may have that already, you know. But it doesn't matter. What matters is how you feel in yourself now. And how you can get that alignment so that when you show up there, you can go, oh, yeah. And you're already there, but you've already been there. You've already been living the life of the feeling of having all of that, because that's where the abundance comes from. It comes from the joy and the love of the everyday life. Okay, so if you want a free coaching session, guys, put a yes in the comments, and yeah, I'll send you a link, and we can get you there. We can get you there. Thank you for watching. I hope you got something out of that. And if you're watching the replay, thank you for watching the replay. And take care. Take care. See you soon. See you soon.